assisted culling feature, which if you don't, do you guys know what culling is?
Nope. I don't think I know.
Okay.
It's when you got sick sheep and you got to do something about it.
You're not too different, actually. Lambs. No, I'm kidding. So if you're like a working photographer and you shoot burst mode, which is, I'm happy for you. I would never do it myself. I don't want to deal with that many photos. Yeah. If you're like a wedding photographer and you're just going,
as they do, those 1DXs.
Yeah. When you go home and you have to like decide which is the best photo, that's really, really, really annoying, right? Because a lot of those photos, people are going to be blinking, people are going to be doing this, and having to go like ding, ding, ding through every picture is very annoying. So with image recognition, you can now understand, oh, this person is blinking, this photo is overexposed. So if you import a ton of pictures, they have all of these different selection modes where you can select, okay, make sure people are smiling, make sure people are not blinking, organize the photos that are overexposed versus properly exposed, and it'll kind of contextually understand that. So that's very useful, and you can like tag things as selects and rejects, and it'll separate them into separate areas. That's sort of a quality of life, really useful, but it is still using the image recognition, semantic recognition that we've developed recently.
It's best shot.
It is basically best take.
That's kind of awesome, honestly.
Yeah. There's a color variance slider now. So, for example, in your skin tones on your face, you have many different tones. And sometimes, if you just up the contrast on a photo, it also ups the contrast on the colors in your face. So you'll have like reds and greens and, yellows in your face. That's shadows. And if you up the contrast, it's going to make those go away. They now have a slider that allows you to basically lower the contrast between certain colors or heighten the contrast between certain colors of certain areas so that you can more easily sort of get rid of those different color variations and make it all similar. So that's cool. They have automatic dust and sensor smudge removal. So if your camera sensor or lens has dust or like marks on it, it will automatically understand that when you import the photos, and it will suggest that you content or fill them away. So that's very cool. I really wish that they did this with film dust, because I have thousands of little dust particles on my phone. That's really freaking annoying, but we are a very small market, so they will not care about
dozens of us.
There are dozens. You can now batch rename files, which apparently they did not have before, which is very useful. And then also, something that's kind of cool, you can auto-select objects, and it will automatically recognize if that object created a reflection or a shadow, and it will also select that part of it.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
If you're trying to fill something out, like they gave an example of a lighthouse that they selected the lighthouse, but then the person hadn't realized, the lighthouse is casting a reflection in the water. So if you just select the lighthouse, it'll spin its little wheel for a sec, and it'll select the lighthouse and the reflection in the water. And then when you do generative remove or something, it'll also get rid of the reflection. So that's very helpful. Yeah. So that's Lightroom. Photoshop was quite interesting. They now allow you to use different generative models for their generative fill. So instead of just using the Adobe Firefly models, they now accept Nano Banana, which is Google's Gemini image recognition model.
Nano Banana.
That sounds like something else. As a minion.
I thought Nano Banana was Gemini's Sora. I thought it was a video generation.
No. It's an image generation model. And it's something that I'm surprised we actually never talked about, because it did blow up for quite a while.
Yeah, but it's not that good.
Well, the good things about it is that it's really good at keeping character consistency. So if you needed to generate multiple images of the same person, they would continuously look the same. And so that we're entering this weird phase, because remember when ChatGPT and remember when Gemini had like a model drop down window and you had like a zillion options, and you're like, what is the difference between
why do I need
Nano, Flash, so they're doing that right now. I assume they will eventually just have an auto select the model that you need feature. But for example, Nano Banana has the character consistency thing. So if you want to, turn the angle, say you have a person facing forward and you're like, I actually want the camera to be looking down on them, you can use that model and you can say, make it looking down from a 45-degree angle. It'll be looking down at them and they'll be looking up at you. So it like maintains the way that the person looks. Pretty interesting. It's kind of like a virtual camera feature.
Yeah.
which is, I don't know, kind of weird. And then there's, other models that are good at different other things. Select subject and remove background have gotten much better on device because they used to be only good in the cloud. The remove tool's gotten significantly better. There's a new generative upscale feature, which gives more partner model options. So Topaz upscale AI is now an option within Photoshop. So it's very interesting. So it can you can take a low res image and it will upscale it the same way that Topaz has always done.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never use these upscaling features because all the source images I usually have are high res, but I guess for older images maybe it's better.
I use the Topaz ones a lot, and they're really good if you set them at 10 to 30%. Like if you hit this slam upscale, make this a million pixels, it will
very goopy, yeah.
But at 10 to 30%, it can do some pretty gnarly stuff.
Yeah, and then I think that one of the biggest features is Harmonize, which did come out last year in the beta. But Harmonize is basically you can take any PNG, you can drop it into any image, and you can hit Harmonize, and it will naturally make all of the lighting and the color of the thing that you dropped into the image just look like it's realistically part of that image.
Oh, so Photoshop skills.
Yeah, but
being good at Photoshop, but it just does it automatically now.
Yeah, auto Photoshop.
Nice.
So
I like that.
Those are sort of the main things. I definitely probably missed a few things because I went to watch the keynote and it was 5 hours long.
Wow.
And at least last night when I was writing this, it was not yet on YouTube, and there was no playback speed option, and there was no chapters.
Woof.
So I did not watch that, and I just watched this morning a bunch of recap videos. So
that's the way to do it.
Yeah. So
not even AI could help there.
Yeah. But speaking of AI, wow, we should just rename this to Wave AI Form or something. We talked I don't even know if we talked about this, but basically Miko is this new assistant for Copilot, for Microsoft's Copilot assistant. And effectively Copilot, you've heard of that. It's Microsoft's sort of AI that's always in Windows, and it's just always there. They have now made these 3D characters that are personifying the AI. And, a couple weeks ago they dropped, it's sort of it looks like a Luma from Super Mario Galaxy, sort of.
Okay.
And it's kind of just floating there, and it talks to you, and it's cute, but if you tap it a bunch of times, it turns into Clippy.
Yes.
And we had mentioned this on the podcast. Almost.
Oh, sorry. I mean, we almost got what we wanted on the podcast. From a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Windows 10 going away, and then we were just saying something about AI being we just need Clippy back in Copilot.
Yeah.
And then I got tagged a bunch of times when this happened. But it's it's not quite. It's close. We get a brief Clippy. I think just
is it so it's not persistent? It says it
just poofs into Clippy as an Easter egg,
and then it disappears.
I think so.
Are you kidding me?
Exactly. I don't need this flubber ass green thing. I need Clippy, and I mean I can understand if you want Miko to be the new thing. Let that be the default. But if you already program Clippy into it, give us a Clippy option. Nostalgia sells, Microsoft.
It's true.
Microsoft, you should know better than anyone nostalgia sells. You're selling all these shirts with MS Paint logos on it. Just let Clippy be an option.
Yeah.
That's
free.
$500
a month for Clippy.
Okay, well, not all of us will, but
yeah,
but will it do your dishes?
Yeah,
do my dishes.
So speaking of trivia,
there was
spooky trivia. Guys, before we get into trivia, I just want to drop one little news story that I don't know much about, but I just want to make everyone aware. I don't know if it's Halloween spookiness, my monitor is flickering like crazy right now.
It's definitely not the giant minion glasses.
I did take off these glasses to see. Anyway, those of you who are interested in graphic design, for some reason right now, the Affinity suite of iPad apps is free, $0. Who knows if that, I think this is going to end soon, maybe before this podcast comes out, but it has something to do with Canva making some big announcement through, I don't know, but if you want to check out some cool apps that are now free, for now, as it's right now, today, Wednesday. Anyway, guys, trivia. Thin phones are in the news, right? But thin phones themselves are not new. Released in late 2014, what phone had a total depth of just 4.8 millimeters?
What year?
late 2014. Specifically December 2014. So almost 2015. 4.8 millimeters. I believe that's thinner than the edge and the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Well, spooky question.
I researched this because I wrote about it for my air video. I didn't name drop it, which I maybe should have. Well, we'll have to think about this.
All right.
Well, answers will be at the end, like usual. We'll be right back.
If it seems like AI is touching just about every part of your life these days, you aren't imagining things. It's all up in your streaming services, it's all up in your job search, and now it's even in your doctor's office.
It can perform exceptionally well, kind of almost in a superhuman way, on these specific, very challenging, complex clinical cases.
This week on Explain It to Me, when AI meets medicine.
And I think it can be potentially revolutionary and transformative for people if they use it in the right way.
And when it doesn't compute.
1 in 5, around 20% of Americans said that they had turned to a chatbot for advice that later turned out to be incorrect.
New episodes Sundays wherever you get your podcasts.
Support for the show comes from Miro. Look, AI can be scary, and not in the cheesy B-movie kind of way that we all love on Halloween, but it's just that AI...
Anyway, I'm just going to go over not blinking, organize the photos that are overexposed versus properly exposed, and we'll kind of
Bob's marketing, sales, IT, HR, and .com.
A little extra because bright and early, I think.
I literally was going to say 52%.
/ wave.
Welcome back. We are going to start this segment by asking our resident minion, Ellis, what is your battery life?
Oh, a little bit.
can we use that?
So today was a little extra because my train was not running this morning. It took me 2 hours to get to work. Woo! So a little extra usage on the Purple 12 Mini today. Who wants to take a little crack? Came off the charger a little early today too. I was bright and early, I think. So came off the charger at 7:45 a.m. It is currently 12:15. I don't know how to do math, so you guys can figure that one out. There's a 30 in there.
52%.
52%.
I literally was going to say 52%.
Really?
52%. 52%.
I was thinking 63.
63%. I'm currently at 56%, giving, I think that would make David and Andrew a little closer.
What did you say, Andrew?
I was going to say that, but there's no way I can prove that, so David.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like it was a trivia point, even though I wish it was.
But you know what's not? 56%? The winning percentage of the Philadelphia 76ers, because it is at 100%.
Unbelievable. Have the Spurs lost yet?
No. And neither of the Thunder. Anyway, but this isn't a basketball podcast.
Yeah.
This is a Nothing 3A Light podcast. Hit it.
Yeah, we got to talk about this. Okay. Nothing, when it came out, was a budget brand. And then they made the A series, which was their budget model for the budget brand. And I remember us joking around about how they made a budget line for the budget brand. And then they made a budget company that was a sub-brand that was Budgeter. CMF.
Too budget, too furious.
Too budget, too furious. And then now they have the Nothing 3A Lite, which is the budget of the... It's the budget phone...
Budget version of the budget.
Budget... The budget version of the budget line of the budget company.
Of the pro version of the budget company.
But not the budget sub-brand.
That makes sense. Why are you confused?
Somebody needs to do a hierarchy of all these phones, because I could see, it's very clear in my head how the Nothing Phone 3 could be above the Nothing Phone 3A.
Yeah.
And the Nothing Phone 3... Isn't there a Nothing Phone 3A Pro?
Yep.
Yes.
And is that below the Nothing Phone 3 or
Yes.
above the...
I think it's below.
I have the price. Do you want me to read the prices off for all
Maybe
of
the
them?
prices... Okay, yeah.
And I want to acknowledge as well that this 3A Lite is almost the same price as the original Nothing Phone 1 launched.
That I did not have written down, but
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nothing Phone 3 is $799,
Okay.
and then the 3A is $379. The 3A Pro is $459, and this 3A Lite is approximately $290. We're basing this off of, it's not available in the US, so it's 249 euros or
And you said the 3A Pro was
$459
$459, and then the 3
is
Seven.
$800.
Okay. So that's the hierarchy.
Of that, and then the
Three.
CMF Phone 2 Pro is $279.
Which is right below the 3A Lite.
Oh, right. They have
It's
a pro
$10
version
less.
of the budget.
Okay, I got it.
sub-brand.
So it's the Nothing Phone 3, then it's the 3A Pro, then it's the 3A, then it's the 3A Lite, then it's the Nothing, a CMF phone.
Correct. Also, the CMF phones are listed on the Nothing website in the phone section. So, like, you can see, I pulled all of these straight from the phone section on nothing.com. What you might notice is this oh my god, trying to remember all these.
3A Lite.
The 3A Lite pricing is super similar to the CMF Phone 2 Pro pricing.
Right.
That's not the only thing that's similar.
Wait, yeah.
I've posted a side-by-side here
Oh.
inside of our
Wait a
document.
minute.
And do these phones look familiar? Could
Those
someone
camera-
explain?
Okay. So the camera arrangements are practically identical. They're not like the same colors, and there's like some screws and stuff, but like by and large, a lot of the features of these things look very, very similar.
Wait, okay, I have some questions then. And it looks like you have the answers. Are they the same chip?
Yep.
Are they the same display?
I mean, I have a set of specs here, and let's just say they're the same.
Oh my god.
The button layouts are the same.
Oh my god.
The camera layouts are the same.
Correct.
Wow.
The battery is the same?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so okay. So it's the same phone, but just with a different back and a different branding.
Yes, this is basically the CMF Phone 2 Pro with nothing design language on the back, including a glass back versus the screw off, like David was saying, orange back.
You know what's funny? I was so ready to call this dumb, but I actually prefer the Nothing brand. nothing branding, and so I would buy this over the CMF phone.
Well, it's also like glass instead of plastic.
Mhm.
so-
Yeah, like the CMF phone's
Or is it
plastics,
plastic?
which like you can take off and do the modular
I
thing
believe it's plastic.
and have the like lanyard or whatever. But
Yeah.
I would buy this over that.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's funny because I've kind of liked Nothing's clear white branding, and
Yeah.
this is my favorite out of all of them because of how simple it is. It's just like mostly white clear, some hints of black and red every once in a while, and that's about it. It's not over the top like some of the other Nothing phones have been, and I think this is the best looking Nothing phone.
What's the weird like pull tab thing on the back?
I think
whole
that's
time?
just like where the battery went in. Is the battery
There's-
removable?
It looks like there's a little.
This whole side,
Yeah, there's like a little scoop place for you to put your like. It looks like you're meant to take that.
that's what it's supposed to look like. It's totally non-functional. It's just design.
You're kidding.
Of course.
Yeah, it's
Can
just
I
how
see
it
it?
looks.
No, it's one thing to choose design
yeah.
over function, but to design something to look functional is psychotic.
Have you heard
that's
of
the whole
Nothing
thing.
before?
That's their whole thing.
No. Nothing makes designs that look pretty. That's not pretty. That looks like that.
No.
That literally invites you to stick your thumb in there.
Yeah. That's their whole aesthetic. Is like there's screws under there, which are supposed to invite you to unscrew things, but you never do that. You can't take this off and unscrew this.
I don't know, Marquez. Like there are screws that in all of our devices, and I don't feel
No, but they-
begged to unscrew them. That